Hi everyone, welcome back to part 6 of my series on how to buy a house for the first time. If you missed the first 5 parts, I'll have links in the description below, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button so they're easy to find. If you already watched those videos, still hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out and it lets me know what kind of content y'all like. With that out of the way, let's get to today's topic, which is making the offer. If you watched my videos, you've done your market research and you did a focused house search and you found the one, you're ready to make the offer. If you followed my advice, this house should be a good fit both in terms of what you want in a house as well as what you can afford. But just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should offer what the seller is asking. By this point, you should be able to tell whether a house is overpriced and is going to sit for a while or if it's underpriced and is going to fly off the market. So if you do think that the house is reasonably priced, don't be embarrassed to put in a full price offer. The flip side of that is if you think the house is way overpriced, then you shouldn't be afraid to put in a lower offer than they're asking. There are basically 2 points in the process where you have the ability to negotiate. The first one is during the initial offer stage, and the second one is after inspection. During the initial offer stage, you're going to have a little bit less leverage because the seller can basically just reject your offer and wait for a better one to come along. If you've already gotten under inspection, if it goes back on the market, then the next buyers are going to ask questions about that, as well as the seller is going to be legally bound to disclose anything that was found on your inspection to the next buyers. So they're going to be a little bit more open to negotiating during that stage. But that doesn't mean that you have no leverage during the initial offer stage, and I'm going to give you 5 signs that you may have a little bit of leverage when you're making the initial offer. Number 1, the house has been on the market for a long time. Most websites will tell you how long a house has been on the market, and if you're struggling to find that information, your realtor can help you. But if a house has been sitting for a while, the sellers may be more motivated to take a lower offer than their asking price. Number 2, the house is overpriced relative to comparable homes that sold in the area. You can always send a letter with your offer explaining why you're making an offer that's lower than the posted price, and you should show comparable houses in the area and what they went for to back up your offer. Number 3, the house is on the market during the holidays. This may mean that the sellers are serious and really want to unload the house. Number 4, the list price of the house has been reduced recently. So this means the sellers know that they overpriced the house, but they don't know by how much. So you can try to convince them that they're still higher than what people will pay by giving an even lower offer. Number 5, the sellers have pressure to sell. Technically, the seller's realtor isn't supposed to give out any information that may negatively impact their clients, but some realtors aren't that great at their job, or they may have an incentive to get their clients to sell so that they can make their commission that month. So if a bad realtor meets your good realtor, they may just let something slip that helps you by accident. If you do make a lower than list price offer and the seller is engaging with you, then you're probably going to get a lower than list price in the end, even if you may have to go a little bit over your initial offer. If they weren't willing to reduce the price at all or negotiate, they would probably just outright reject your offer. And remember, you do have another chance to negotiate after the inspection, but at that point, you're really negotiating for things that need to be repaired, so it's not so much reducing the purchase price as much as covering repairs. But feel free at that stage to ask for a little bit extra to cover the inconvenience of having to fix it. One thing you can do is you can say during the initial offer that the seller is going to fix some things that are in need of obvious attention, but personally, I wouldn't go that route because the seller is highly incentivized just to get the cheapest fix and you may not get the job done properly. A word of caution, don't get emotionally attached to the house you're putting an offer on. You may lose it in a bidding war, the seller may reject your offer, you may find out that it has a lot of skeletons in the closet during inspection, so don't just go crazy and decide you absolutely have to have a certain home and bankrupt yourself for it. There will be other good homes that come along, and no matter what 4 walls you end up living in, it's really the environment you create and the people inside that make it a home. And the reason I'm telling you this is because there is a very real chance that you will get into a bidding war, and you need to have a game plan ahead of time. What's the top end of your budget? How much is this specific house worth to you if you had to pay over list price? And it's better to think of these things ahead of time than on the spot. And the answer may also change the longer that you search. For us, we lost out on 2 homes during the search, where one we got outbid on and another we got our offer accepted but pulled out after a terrible inspection. So when we got to the house that we're currently living in, we knew very quickly that we wanted it, and we even thought that it was underpriced. I even considered putting in over the asking price, but ended up just giving a full price offer. In the end, there were multiple offers, and we decided to go in very aggressively, much more so than we would have done at the beginning of our search. But we still came in under our max budget. You have to have a ceiling and you have to stick to it. Like Dave Ramsey says, I want you to own a home, but I don't want the home to own you. So stick to your plan, use the knowledge you gained during your market research, and don't be afraid to negotiate. It's actually kind of fun and you may gain a new skill. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Rest assured, you will eventually find a house that you like. That's it for this part. I hope you got some value out of this, and if you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out. The next video we'll talk about inspection and negotiating at that stage. Hope you tune in. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.